slightly, it's £20. Send me, say £20.50 or £20, whatever you prefer. I'll leave it up to you. £20.50 or £20, but pay as a friend, please. And don't pay for a service. If you're paying for a service, you'll have to add on like £2. Yeah, and if you pay as a friend, pay that across, right? And I'll send you a leaflet, but I'm going to cut this out. It's going to be better than that. And I'll send it with the deck. Okay, so that's the deck. That's what it looks like. It's only little. Okay, it is only little. It's very small because it's all I could afford to make. You see, it's a little playing card deck. So it's little, mini. But they're expensive to make. I mean, you know, like I've done this myself completely. So. Okay, but it doesn't matter because it's not really about, you know, like obviously these decks are lovely when you've got like big, you know, beautiful, obviously they're lovely, but what's most important with this deck is the writing on it, the words that have been inspired by all the gurus that I follow, and also just my own discoveries as well, but I'm not going to say that I've come up with it all myself because I haven't. It's been through the teachings and meditating on the teachings for about 3 years now. Basically, it's a deck to help you reach a deeper state of consciousness. And, you know, it's like that. The reason why you want to get a deeper state of consciousness is because that is finding yourself, basically. Yeah, because when you don't have a very high level of consciousness, you're basically really disconnected from yourself. I used to be like that. I had a low level of consciousness. I was very disconnected from myself. And it's only the last 3 years from doing this path that I've started gradually coming back into who I really am. So the closer you get into the self, the deeper level of consciousness you get more connected to yourself. That's basically the aim, is to get connected to yourself. Self equals spirit. The closer you get to yourself, the closer you are to spirit. And that's how miracles can start to happen in your life. If you feel blocked, if you feel like miracles are not happening in your life, if you feel just like it doesn't matter what you do, life is just always, you know, just hell, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, there's just, you're going out there into the matrix and just everything's blocking you all the time or challenging you all the time. It's just a sign that you're disconnected from the self, because once you come back into connecting with yourself, you're connected with spirit, and then your life will flow much better. Things will start to happen for you. You'll be in a much better alignment. So that's what this deck is all about. It's helping you to connect to yourself. And that's important for a lot of people that are in my soul family, like you, who watch the channel, because what we've done is we weren't connected to ourselves, and we thought the answer was to try and connect to somebody else. You know, we felt like a relationship would be the answer to help us feel better. But we didn't realise that, again, you're looking outside of yourself for something, and it will just always take you out of alignment. You have to find yourself first, find spirit first. So I'm going to just go through the cards. I'm going to timestamp it in case people don't want to watch me chat through that bit, because that's a bit of a long intro. Okay, so now I just want to say some of the cards are a bit controversial, okay, because you might the first card has just got nothing on it. It's just got my logo, right? Because I accidentally, well, I just didn't have enough. I realised we were one card short when it went to the printers, so I said we'll just print the logo on both sides. So you got one card like that. Okay, and then I'll just go through. But like I say, some of the statements are a bit controversial, and sometimes you might find them a bit hard to swallow. You don't have to agree with all of them, but maybe you'll find most of them helpful. Remember, your ego is blocking you from being your true self. The ego is the false self, so we don't want to be nice to the ego. We want to destroy the ego. Obviously, we can only do it gradually. We can't just go in there and do it in one day because, well, I won't go into the reason why, but you just can't. So it is a gradual process. So sometimes you might not be ready for some of these cards and what they say. Just don't worry about it too much. You know, if there's a card in here you don't really agree with, it's fine. You know, and also if you see a card and you think, God, Kerry, you're a bit negative, the only reason is because my ego's been freaking hard to deal with. And, you know, in order to start killing my ego off, because I know my ego is what's been blocking me from just being my true self. You know, sometimes I have to be very negative with the ego and very blunt, because if I'm not, then I'm too soft on my ego. I just fall back into all my old habits again, all my old karmic patterns. Right, so that's the reason why. Anyway, let's go into it. So don't let their ego attach to you, you know, very important, because obviously people's ego is selfish, all right? And I'm not saying that everybody is selfish, but everybody's got ego. And when people's ego gets too close to you, it will start to see what it can get out of you. So that's why it's always quite healthy to keep people a little bit at an arm's length, okay? So that you can just have clarity and you can check in. Is this person's ego trying to take advantage of me? It's not the person I'm asking you to be annoyed with. I'm just saying it's having that consciousness. The more you let somebody attach to you, their ego will start to rise. Naturally, it will start to try and take advantage of you, okay? The next one is detach from the triggers. Okay, so just a reminder, you know, if you're triggered, to try and detach from it, because it's just an illusion in the matrix. What it's trying to do is help you purge out pain body. So really thinking about that trigger, it doesn't really help you. It just actually makes you more annoyed. So try to do what you can to detach from your triggers, because then you'll find that the pain body subsides a lot quicker. Okay, the next one, let go. If it is meant for you, it will return. Okay, because everything's predestined. I know not everybody is going to agree with that, but at the end of the day, that is the path of consciousness or self-inquiry believes that everything's predestined. So, you know, if you push things away, if it's meant for you, it's going to return. It's going to find its way back to you, because it's predestined. It's your destiny, and it will happen whether you like it or not. Okay, so that's why it's quite good. If you're not sure about somebody, you know, push them away a bit, create space, because if they're supposed to be in your life, they will return. Okay, thoughts block consciousness. Well, that's just very basic, but they do. Thoughts do block consciousness, because consciousness, there's no thoughts in consciousness. Spirit, it's just source. It's just pure emptiness. There's nothing there. Peace. Okay, so if you're having thoughts, it's not about thinking, oh, is this a good thought? Is this a bad thought? It's just like literally, it's just, all it's doing is it's just blocking you from being within yourself. It's ego, basically. Okay, don't let the matrix crack you. I wanted to put that one in because some days it does feel like the matrix is trying to crack you, because the amount of crap it can throw at you. And don't let it crack you. You know, we've all been there on a regular basis, maybe, where we just think the matrix is going to crack us. But don't let it, because, you know, that's why we're here. It's not trying to crack you, okay? It's trying to make you purge. You know, if we had no karma left and we were a clear vessel, we would not have reincarnated. So that's the only reason we're here. It's not trying to crack you. It's just trying to make you have these almighty purges, so that eventually you'll get clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay, spirit takes care of everyone. A good reminder there, because those of us, I know all my soul family are the same. We're lovers, we're not haters. We're very caring people, and empathic, and whatever you call it. I hate the words. I hate empaths. I hate that. I hate it, because an empath is a sign that you're just basically neglecting yourself. So I do not support empaths. But, you know, it's an important message because I used to be an empath. Spirit takes care of everyone. It's not your job to do it. That's what God's job is. Okay, Spirit's job. You are not a false ego identity. You are your true self. I thought that's quite a helpful one, because I've had lots of false ego identities, and you start to create a whole character. I'm a nutter, I know. And it's like, you know, when I left, me and my husband split up, you know, I sort of started to create this character, and it was a bit of my shadow sides coming out, and it was good for me to explore it. But, you know, it was like, I wasn't really being Kerry. I wasn't being soft. I wasn't being gentle. I wasn't even being that sweet. And the thing was, yes, it was good for me to explore this side of my ego, because we have to get our shadows out before we can really purge them properly. So I had to explore it, but it kind of started turning me quite selfish, and it was very hard and cold. And it was, then I was just completely neglecting my true self, you know. So you have to be careful with your ego and what you're dabbling with, because do your shadow work, but don't immerse yourself too much in it, because before you know it, you can be acting and realizing you're not really being your true self, you know. So that's a reminder. Your past is just a story. I mean, that's really important, because anytime you get memories and guilt coming up about the past, just forget it. What is the point? We only have the present moment. There is literally no past. It does not exist. Do not waste any time feeling guilty or sorry or regretful about the past, because it's gone. You cannot do anything about it. You only have the present moment, and it's an ego trap. It's a way that the ego will try to keep you stuck in a low vibration. Okay, don't chase or contact. I don't think I need to explain that one. Don't chase or contact people. You know, let people contact you. See what happens, because anything that is real, that resonates with your vibration, it will stay, you know, and anything that isn't is going to drop away, and that's how you find out the truth. Don't touch the matrix. You know, we do it every day. As soon as we wake up, what do we want to do? We want to touch the matrix. Don't. Why? Because it's taking you outside, wrong direction. You're not spending enough time connecting with yourself. I do it all the time. You are not alone, you are one. Important, because we all have those moments where we do feel very alone, and it's a horrible feeling. So that's why I put that card in there. You're not alone. The matrix tries to keep you stuck. Yes, it does. It tries to distract you, tries to take you off your path, tries to send you in the wrong direction. You have to be very vigilant to what the matrix is doing to you every day, because that's what it's trying to do. Someone is acting unconsciously. Well, if that one pops out, maybe it might be helping you recognise something. If somebody's acting unconsciously, it's just a sign for you to become more, raise your level of consciousness. You are breaking karmic patterns. Well, that would be a lovely one to get, because if you're breaking karmic patterns, that's brilliant. You're rising out of, you know, your old patterns. Oh, I've got a bit of lipstick on one of them. I don't know how I've managed it. Okay, they are a little bit glossy, so it should come off. The matrix is distracting you. Yeah, again, it's just how the matrix blocks you, distracts you. It's trying to tempt you, it's trying to trigger you, because it doesn't, the matrix and the ego don't want you to connect with your true self. So that's why it's like that every day. It's like we're living in a maze. You know, and it's every day when you wake up and open your eyes, you're back in this maze, you're back in this matrix, and you've got to constantly be persevering to remember to connect with yourself, to connect with spirit, and not get distracted by all the stuff out there. Okay, don't let these unconscious energies pull you down. Okay, yeah, don't let their unconscious energy pull you down, sorry, because it will. If someone's very unconscious, try to create space, because it will only pull you down. Be true to yourself, not the false self. Be your true self, not the false self. Very important. Again, it's a reminder similar to the one before. Move in the matrix, but stay rooted in spirit. Because at the end of the day, we do have to function in the matrix. We do have to go out there. But we've got to try to persevere to stay rooted in spirit. All triggers eventually subside. True. People and objects block consciousness. Now that's a bit of a controversial one. You might not all agree. That is just something that I felt on a day where I was really struggling with my ego, and I felt very much like alone, like I didn't have a friends, I didn't have a partner. And it was just a realisation. It was just like, do you know what, actually most people have got so much ego, it's not actually going to help me at the moment to be really deeply connected in friendships and relationships, because like I say, people's ego tends to grab at you, and what's it really going to help me? It's not going to really help me achieve connecting with myself anyway. So, you know, and objects as well, you know, the more you're addicted to objects, that's blocking you from your own self as well. We all have those habits. Spirit, stay silent when triggered. Yeah, a good one, because when we're triggered, we can say the wrong thing, and It just makes our ego rise. Exploring the matrix delays consciousness. I'm not going to explain all of these because I've got a customer now. Empty mind equals source. That's true. That's crazy. When your mind is empty, you are literally one with spirit. It's that simple. You are, like, you don't need to meditate or anything. This is the crazy misconception in the spiritual community. If you have an empty mind, that's it. You're one with spirit. You are sent these experiences to remove ego. The ego wants to tell you negative stories. Yeah, it's always going to do that. That's why we don't like the ego. Don't open the door to unhelpful thoughts. You get better and better at that over time. I'm much better at that now. The matrix is trying to keep you in a low vibration. Again, I'm not trying to help you hate the matrix, but what I'm just trying to do is help people and myself remember that the more you look at the matrix, the physical reality, the more you just, you know, you're probably going to go into a low vibration, and you're just going to get distracted from the light that you really are. Finding your true self is the most worthwhile path. That's supposed to be the last card. You are always in the flow of consciousness. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Even when you're in ego, you're still technically in the flow of consciousness. No matter how many times you fall, you can recenter yourself. I wanted to put that one in because I'm always slipping off the path. Addiction and desires block consciousness. Okay. I've had a very addictive nature. Stay still. Stillness is consciousness. So yeah, empty mind is source, and also stillness is source. Don't allow the ego to pull you off your path. Spirit can only be found in the present moment. What do you really want? Find it in yourself first. That's the journey I'm on. You are source, which is love. Shame is of the ego. Okay, don't feel ashamed of anything. It's just your ego trying to make you feel ashamed. You've got nothing to be ashamed of. Fears about the future stem from ego. Accept what spirit wants for you. That's a difficult one. Difficult, that is. But it's just because of our past karmas. And that's why sometimes we're not getting the things we want. And it's just literally because of our past karma. And if we can kind of accept it, it's hard to accept it, but if we can, maybe we can be a bit more at peace and enjoy the life we have got, you know. And maybe in the next life we'll get what we want. Consciousness is infinite potential. Yeah. So if you just surrender, you could actually end up with more, much more than you think. Guilt is of the ego. Okay, very important. Desire is temporary. Think of all the things you desire and then you don't really want them after a while. You do not have to be stuck in attachment. Who are you really? Source. It's crazy, isn't it? Trust, spirit is doing everything. Yeah, so if you're freaking out, try not to think about things because it's not really you doing anything anyway. Spirit's doing it. The storm will always pass. So I'm rushing through these. The body is an illusion. Okay, important to remember. Remember your true alignment. Don't follow someone else's alignment. I've fallen into that trap a lot. The physical reality is not real. Look deeper. Spirit is very close to you. Surrender. Everything is predestined. Be authentic to where you are now. So I recommend pick one card a day, or if you're very triggered, pick one card. Because if you're triggered, these messages will help. And I've been picking one card a day, and it is quite uncanny how you do sort of pick a card on something that you're actually working on personally. If you want to order a deck, just email me or go to my Facebook page, Awakening Tarot, message me there. Go to my website, awakeningtarot.co.uk. Message me first if you want to check the price, because if you're overseas, we can just figure out the postage cost. I'm sending you lots of love and peace. I hope you do like the deck. I'm sorry it's so tiny, but there we go. And I'm, you know, because of how long it's taken me to put together, and then the postage and packaging, that's why it's £20, okay? So I hope you don't mind. But there we go. I'm sending you lots of love and peace.